Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay?
GM, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we have Michael Saylor versus the Germans. Very interesting stuff unfolding on the timeline today. We'll kick things off here with BTC. As you can see, via the daily candle, with this enormous wick to the upside, we have been smashed down from around 66.3, 66.4, currently down to 64.8. So let's look at the reason why. Obviously not the best. We had a lovely bounce overnight. Altcoin positions up bigly. I am also now fully allocated, which we'll talk about later on because bids were filled. But what the heck's happened? Well, essentially we have two players here. First and foremost, the German government, as discussed in the previous video. They have like 50,000 Bitcoins or something crazy, which they managed to seize back in 2013, and they've started to bring these to market. So it's official, German government, weak paper hands are selling a BTC. So they are lettuce handing their Bitcoins here. They have over 3 bill to potentially liquidate overall, 46,000 Bitcoins remaining. But today, hitting the markets, it looks like 200 Bitcoin went to Coinbase, 800 went to this wallet over here, which maybe we'll track and see where that went. But Coinbase, $13 million, 200 Bitcoins have hit the market. So this is why people are saying Germans are selling. Hence, we've dumped down here. Whether or not this is the be-all and end-all for this move down, we don't really know. But it's quite funny that we put these stories to the price action on the charts. But generally, overhang still there. You can see they've got quite a lot of Bitcoin on their sheet. So if they do want to sack that all off and spend it over the coming weeks, obviously that's going to provide some price suppression. But I kind of feel like on the flip side to this, people who are selling Bitcoin at this level are being matched with the ultimate plunge protection team of Michael Saylor, who has acquired around $800 million from his convertible notes for an average price of 65.8K. So he has now got 226,000 Bitcoins. So every time there's a seller in the market and he comes along with a massive wedge of cash, those are essentially coins that are no longer moving. His strategy is to ultimately just diamond hand and hold this Bitcoin, and with it potentially obviously lever up, using it as collateral. He's not going to be selling his coins. So they're going from entities willing to sell, paper hands, etc. And then Saylor is coming through and just stacking them sats like a madman. So we have the sellers, the Germans, Saylor, as ever, bullish as heck. So this, of course, typically does seem like when he makes a purchase, the market reverses like almost every single time, to be honest with you. It's probably triggering algorithms and bots that if Saylor announces a purchase, just instant dump. And that seems to be a flavor that occurs in crypto. But overall, yesterday, hopefully those lows going to start to hold here. Or was it the 18th, Tuesday? Hopefully the lows do hold. No major nukes, and we can just continue forwards here. But let's look at some news here. This one's pretty crazy. $3 million siphoned from Kraken's treasury. So Kraken essentially had this bug exploit that was unveiled, the vulnerability, by a team who they didn't initially name, but apparently people linked to Certic, the audit firm. And this seemed to actually turn from not a white hat hack, but into a bit of an extortion tactic. Well, they pretty much said, look, we know we've got a major critical bug. Not going to tell you what it is. And then Kraken don't respond or whatever. And then people in their team have hacked Kraken's treasury for $3 million. Apparently doing something whereby they could just withdraw funds without making any deposits, which is pretty damn crazy. So their head of security, Nick Parocco, has a full thread on this. Big thread on the security updates and how it was occurring. He didn't disclose who it was initially in this statement. But then it comes back here that it was Certic, but they have seemingly now, with all the on-chain evidence that was gathered, have now returned the funds less a small amount to lost fees, they say. Next up, we have a layer 0. The airdrop has occurred today. You have to go and claim it. And also they've got this new coined phrase called proof of donation, where you actually have to donate a small amount of funds to unlock your airdrop. It can be just 10 cents. So people are obviously kicking off about this, saying, why should I have to pay something? At the end of the day, if you've got a few $100 or even a few $1,000 worth of tokens, you can claim. All you have to do is send like 10 cents in to the address they specify, and you can unlock the token. So $3.63, it was trading above 5 straight out the gates, but a bit of a downturn here. I do think this will trade higher though than what we see now. So for me personally, I've got a few $100, like $500 worth of tokens at this price level. I'm not going to sell them as of yet. I'm going to wait to see if this thing can recover. I think Layer 0 is very good tech, and I think the valuation for this should increase because currently FDV's 3.6 billion, but the circulating market cap places it around 900 mil. But this is actually really innovative in the space, and Tapioca built on top of this. So I do think this one will actually be quite a bit higher, as it is actually one of the key pieces of infrastructure for cross-chain interoperability that I really do like. CL has posted to the timeline. This cat typically is rather smart and does very well with his predictions. As you can see, this was the earlier prediction saying up from this level back in June of 23, which we did oblige with that. That was around here somewhere. And he's saying up again, up only for the crypto total market cap. So hopefully that comes true. As we have these dumps here, Crypto Seaver was posted that the Bitcoin dump is starting to have a little effect here on alts. And it does honestly seem like the majority of selling is done. We had a lot of puking that occurred over the last few days. Terrible sentiment. And so after that, there is going to be the opportunity for some major bounces across the board because the people who were going to sell did sell. They papered, they're out. Now, Kaito AI scans a whole host of different platforms for key search terms and really distills the areas of the market that are getting a lot of traction. So they have these heat maps here, and you can see from the heat map, AI is really heating up around 23%. Memes are at 9%, now being outstripped in terms of, as they say, the mindshare by DeFi. So DeFi flipping memes for their overall mindshare here. You can see down only for GameFi, ZK, L2s, but it looks like AI, DeFi, and still obviously there's some heat in the meme market as well, but makes sense to follow the AI algorithm and signal here that AI and DeFi is making a bit of a comeback. And you can see that from the tap chart, and generally on socials, a lot of people getting bullish around Tapioca now and thinking about, you know, the valuation of this thing versus competitors, just 25 mil. Yes, the FDV is higher, but the actual emissions for this will not hit that kind of level for many decades, most likely. And there seems to be a bit of a renaissance in the DeFi ecosystem. And we had, of course, Curve founder liquidation, potentially just marking the absolute bottom. And that actually happened on Tapioca's launch. So I think this is really poetic, what has happened here. So that is the tap chart. Now, in terms of some of the fills I got recently, this one had a blow off bottom yesterday. So I actually bought average price around where we are now, like 17 cents. But I've positioned into Quill here. I think it is going to be some major big brain play, new tech. A lot of dApps could potentially be built on top of Quill to decentralized and gain a lot of privacy. Blow off bottom yesterday, some big whales sold out. Early miners potentially 12 cents hit, did recover nicely here. So that is one of the bags. Also filled on Cheese. Cheese Chain is a layer 3. And this one kind of follows in suit of DMT Chain, another layer 3 on Arbitrum. And I feel like this one is going to go higher, to be honest with you, hence I bought some, but it looks like this structure slowly going in this kind of nice direction. Seems to be holding that kind of line here. I placed some bids overnight and they were hits. I am slightly underwater at this point. Another one, if you haven't seen this, so in a tweet yesterday, Weir Meow, or Where Meow, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, the founder of Jupiter Dex here did state that they are looking to reduce the total supply of dupe by 30%. So this would cut down its market cap, its fully diluted market cap, significantly by 30%. So I think that will provide a pump for Jup. And I do think under $1, it's a bit of a steal. If we're seeing the rotation back into DeFi, it makes sense that this one does get bid up as well. Now, if you want to see more ponderings from me, myself, and Grant from Blockmates, we did Shitcoin Church just a bit earlier. So go and check that out either on Twitter. You can check out blockmates.com on Twitter, or get yourself over to Blocmates TV on YouTube and give that a watch. I'll leave a link to it down below as well. So just more ramblings, market thoughts, positioning, and other stuff in there. So hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.